Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with another video on update 2.19. This is one of the two new pieces of content in the update. This is the Master's Death Cart, and we're going to be showing off the gear, and we're going to be showing off in the place where we think it's probably the most spectacular, which is Survivor.
And on Cassandra came Batgirl, because it's got a bunch of different abilities, and it's surprising actually which one ends up being the most important.
Yeah, and the most important one, you saw it very briefly, is actually the last one, which is 100% chance to deal 20% unblockable damage on tag-in. Now that's a little bit of a kind of messy sentence, but basically what that means is that on tag-in, 20% of the opponent's health, not total remaining health, but total health in general, will be taken away in what looks like a bunch of small hits.
Right. So, and you can see this is clearly a hacked account because the Master's Death Cart has not been released yet. We've got three characters. Hawkgirl is going to be the tank, and she's the tank mainly because she has to be there to allow us to tag in and out fast. This team is going to be... The first few fights won't matter because you can beat them pretty easily no matter what. But Cassandra Batgirl's got her passive to remove a percentage of remaining health. She's got the Claw of Horus, which is also to remove a percentage of remaining health, and the Death Cart, which removes 20%, which is cool because unlike just removing a percentage of remaining, this can actually knock them out.
Yeah, and just a quick note, if you couldn't tell by my voice already, I am a little bit sick, but the show must go on, especially right after an update, so we're making the video anyways, but apologies for any reduction in audio quality when listening to my voice.
And I appreciate your sacrifice. But you see that... Sorry, so just a small explanation for why maybe this is not the best gear loadout for what we're trying to do, but we're trying it to demonstrate how good it can be. So she's got Astro Harness, Cassandra Cain Batgirl does, mainly so that she can survive the tags in and out. When you've got a team that relies so much on tagging in and tagging out, the worst thing you can do is have one person knocked out because you lose all of that ability. Arkham Knight Catwoman is there with the Tantu Totem and two other pieces of damage over time gear because her ability is it doesn't rinse off, so that we don't care if they tag in or out, which they might be motivated to do once they get hit with the damage over time attack, because she's good for full value of all of it, even when they tag out. Because otherwise I would have put Astro Harness on Hawkgirl to make her a better tank. But I mean, really, if you wanted to be more effective, we could actually stick in something like that would help take advantage of some of the other abilities of the Master's Death Cart, like the Combo Ender, but she doesn't have a lot of hits at the end. Or the 15% splash damage on special, but 15% is not a lot. And the 20% decreased blocking we tag in, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a lot, because you've already got, like, 20% is really kind of small potatoes. It's not game changing. It's good, but not game changing. So it's not really a balanced kind of... Ooh, that was good actually. See, that's a good example. The Astro Harness actually saved her because she avoided the stun from taking a bunch of damage while stunned from Arkham Knight Batgirl.
So, yeah, we've talked a lot about our general strategy, but this is a bit of a Master's Death Cart, reveal demonstration video. So we should probably talk a little bit about all the other abilities, even if we're not going to be seeing them as heavily used here. So the first ability is after tag-in, enemy blocking stops 20% less damage for 6 seconds.
Right.
That's okay. It's not great.
Well, that's a symbol you see where you see block mitigation. And that means you just got to get the hits in fast. And I part of me wonders how much of that is taken up with just the animation of the 20% damage.
That's true. I'd imagine that this kind of stuff would be useful for maybe if you want to have somebody drop in and instantly do a special. This makes it... You can be even a little bit less concerned with whether or not they're blocking, because we do that sometimes anyways.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a bit of a nice kind of bonus.
Right.
The second effect is 100% area effect, 15% damage from special attacks.
So that's comparable to the 15% that you get from the Fourth World Mace for the Special 2, but way below the 50% that you get from the League of Assassin's Knives for Special 1.
Yeah, it's got the advantage of working for any of your special attacks, but the problem is at the end of the day you're probably not going to be using one or the other. You're probably going to be geared up to use one specific special attack if if you're going to be making use of your character as a specialist at all.
Yeah.
So the problem is that versatility doesn't actually help you that much. It's a little bit wasted.
Yes.
But it makes more sense because it means that you can slot this gear onto a first special or second special specialist. So it allows you to use this gear in a more versatile situation, but the actual... On any one given character, the actual effect is mostly unnecessary.
Right.
So
now the spectacular part, and I wouldn't have expected this from the description, is that 20% unblockable damage on tag in. And what it looks like is, like you mentioned, it's a bunch of little small hits, and you get power from it.
Yeah.
To the extent that you actually get a full bar of power when you tag in. Which is actually kind of spectacular. To me, that was the best thing about the Tantu Totem. So now you've got basically two things that
for the price of one.
Oh yeah, it's great. Like that's basically a fifth ability.
And the last ability is 100% area effect, 35% damage from combo ender, which is excuse me, sorry, again, not spectacular, but it's okay. Ooh, this cold. Doing a number on me.
Yeah, so maybe I got to do a bit more of the heavy lifting. So the combo ender is interesting, and it's really the problem is the combo enders don't happen so often. So I hate to have a strategy that relies entirely on that. But you know, it's not like I don't do it. Razago Scimitar, and maybe you need to take a break, man. Yeah, it's just 35%, only a third of it too. So what you need to do with your other gear is to maximize your basic damage. So you know, it's hard to get really good numbers. Maybe somebody like Flashpoint Deathstroke would be a good option for that, or Jessica Cruz Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to another room to blow my nose real quick. Sorry, I'll be back.
All right.
I will not subject you to that audio.
All right, so it's first few fights, like I've said before, it's not particularly telling when you can speed through them like butter, because let's face it, they're all pretty easy at the lower levels. They don't have gear. They're matched against your stats and maybe even a little bit below. I think when we get to maybe fight 6 or 7 is when you really see the beauty of this team and why it's so good.
I'm back. There we go.
AFK and back again. All right, so
a more professional channel might have just cut and used a
edited
second
it?
take.
Yeah.
You're getting this rough and raw.
Yeah. See, here's the problem with the blocking for 20% decreased blocking, right? A lot of times when you tag in, you're getting free hits like this. Like, we didn't need the blocking thing.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no difference. Even if Catwoman had been holding, which she's not. But look at that. Holy crap. See, full bar power every time. Right. See, and he's not blocking. Part of it is if you time it, and I'm sure they're blocking some of the time, but for the, I don't know, like the 50 to 60% time they're not blocking, that would make no difference.
Yeah, and I guess the good news is you don't actually want them to be blocking anyways.
Right.
It's more of like a bonus when they happen to block
Yeah.
when you swap in. But
so
it is mostly wasted.
Yeah, it's one of those abilities that maybe seem a little bit better than it actually is. All right. So this is really kind of useful too in Survivor, because when you've got the percentage of the health that you're reducing, when you've got guys that you don't see their numbers, right? But when they've got hundreds of thousands of health,
yeah,
then you're really doing a number on them. But it's actually, I mean, for something that it's just thrown together, this is sort of our first try at maybe mixing up some of these new legendary gears. This is really effective. Although, you know what? Coming in with a bar of power, maybe I don't need Astro Harness, because if I can do the first special fast enough, that'll buy the time we need to tag in and out. Hot diggity. Yeah, there's another full bar of power again.
Well, I mean, we swapped it, yeah. It's pretty good. Pretty solid stuff.
Have you noticed, though? It seems like she's not using a full bar of power when she's actually doing her special. Is that just me, or is that my imagination? I gotta pay attention.
I don't know.
See, there's a bar. Yeah. And then each time when we do it, there's still like 3/4 of the bar left. Or maybe it's not registering all of it when you're doing the hits coming in, and because it's visually not showing it, it's building up, but we're using it too fast.
I'm going to be honest, I'm out of it enough that I have not been paying attention to that. and maybe some stuff that I should be normally paying attention to. So we'll have to see.
All right. And so I should point out too, the reason why we're not actually trying to get any of the last laugh tickets is that glitch is no longer working with update 2.19. And people have been worried that Tantu Totem is not coming out. I still have faith, simply because something else like Crown of Krypton, for example, was never announced in the release notes.
Yeah.
Or as far as I remember. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that was never announced in the release notes. So other things that were, like the Claw of Horus, eventually came through, but maybe like 3 or 4 updates later.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know that it's actually even that overpowered to be broken. All right, so you know where we're gonna have trouble is when Special 1 is gonna be disabled. All right, so she didn't use a full bar of power, right?
Yeah.
And she's gonna go up. All right, this is where we're going to have trouble because none of us have a big Special 1 except for maybe Hawk Girl. So maybe we could try to see, before she loses too much health, to try to do a Special 1. All right, so maybe close enough. Let's see. If it's unblocked, maybe it'll be close. Oh, too bad. It did it right before. Her damage over time is too much, too soon. Oh, no, you got me going. Okay.
Hopefully you're not getting sick, too.
Yeah. We still got too much new content.
This recording studio is a transmission vector.
All right, so Contained Doomsday is actually a little bit tough for any of the new... not tough, but a good counter for not getting knocked out and preventing the Tantu Totem from regenerating your
Well, I mean, and
power.
also 20% of his total health isn't actually that much compared to what his actual health is.
Yeah. You and me both, brother. All right, so
running into some issues.
Sometimes I'm of two minds. I mean, I'm in the habit of Arkham Knight Catwoman to just do Special 1 as many times as I can because the damage over time has an effect on the next damage that you do, and then you can stack it more. But because she's got Tantu Totem, if I did a Special 2 and knocked him out, I'd have both bars of power back. See, that hurt. That was the first time where we really took any kind of damage, and maybe as long as we are really careful in the next few rounds, we can boost up our health again, because really this is the surrogate. Because it's a hacked account, I don't want to be taking these guys into multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it's not a great reflection on how it's going to be, but it really shows you how good they are.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely when we show them in the later stages, that's going to be way more health than you're ever dealing with, so that's one of the better ways of showing them off. It's the same way the Iba stick was best shown off at the time on
Boss
bats.
Arkham Origins Batman, right?
Yeah, best shown off on the bats because the 10 special ones would take them out. This is very similar, so when we're seeing it at way higher health, everything else is going to matter a lot less, and it's going to become more just...
She's got a quarter bar of power after she did her special. That was not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty spectacular. Holy crap. Alright, look. There's one bar. Now it's still more than 3/4 left.
I wonder if that dog is making it onto the audio. There's
There's
a
the
dog
dog
really barking away out there if you can't hear it.
I think it's got to be a little bit cruel to be having a dog outside in the cold. It's if whenever you're watching this, you should just know that this is February in Canada, and it's I guess it's not bad today, but it's below
The dog does
0.
sound a little agitated at something.
All right, so that's not bad. We still lost a little bit of health, so it's going to take us a bit to build up. Really, I want it to hit at least, let's say, 11 wins. To me, there's a threshold where it should be easy. When you've got a good team, it should be relatively easy to hit 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah.
But I'm actually quite impressed with this gear. Like, the best part of it is getting that extra bar of power, which means that in single player, you're actually going to be worse off. When you take it in single player, your hits give them more power than you generate for yourself. Yeah. So it's very easy when you tag in with Cassandra Cain Batgirl to give them almost 2 bars of power just from the little piddly hits that you do over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually problematic because you just can't keep eating specials like that.
Yeah. So it's actually not going to be super helpful. It's the same way where Green Lantern's second special. Which one is it that does that? It's the silver one, right? Regime?
Oh, yeah, with the machine gun?
Yeah, is not actually good in single player, but is actually not as bad in multiplayer.
Yeah, it does stun, but it does a lot of hits, and because it's a special, it still generates power,
Yeah.
even in multiplayer.
Yeah.
I love this. I love tagging them in and tagging them out because of Hot Girl so fast that the time it takes to do a special is enough to do what you need it to. Look, she's still got full bar of power. Oh, sweet. I love being able to get the timing just right so that I get the special in before they even react.
There we go. Wow. Wow.
It's fun because not only are you doing it fast, but you have to be a little. This is one thing I've talked about a few times before. Engaged. So when you feel like you're not just swiping, that you're strategizing and you're executing a strategy.
Yeah.
It's way more fun than when you're just swipe, 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 swipe.
The good news with the gear 2 is that it can also knock people out, right?
Oh, right.
Because Cassandra came back, girls normally doesn't, and then like
The Claw of Horus doesn't either.
Claw of Horus doesn't, damage over time.
Because it's remaining health. And normal damage over time doesn't. So this, because it's 20%, you've seen a couple times now where when she tags in, she can knock them out.
Yeah, I think we've seen that actually a
Yeah.
decent chunk of times now. I think that's important to mention. I mean, leaving them at 1 health, why risk getting hit, right?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit better, especially in Survivor, right?
Yes.
Where if you swap in, don't quite kill them,
Right.
and then they whack you first, that
Right.
would suck.
So the one way where this is where we can talk a little bit about what our strategy is, because usually when we're posting video, it's like the finished product. We've played around with it a bit, we thought about it a bit, made adjustments. Instead of Astro Harness, because she's just so good at the beginning, when she tags in, it's almost a waste having the invulnerability, is just give her something that will make her Special 1 more effective, because we're doing Special 1 over and over again. We're doing it a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe League of Assassins Knives would be good. Gives a little bit of splash damage, power gen, and I think crit boost or crit chance on Special 1. So it increases her likelihood that it's going to do way more damage. Sweet. When I tag in, I'm always a little bit afraid that they're going to get a fast attack in, especially when they got a bar of power. They might do their special first.
Yeah, because really...
See, there we go. Knocked her out.
Yeah, getting a bar of power on swap in is actually a pretty solid ability in its own right.
Yeah.
Nothing to scoff at, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I thought Razzle Go Scimitar was so good.
Yeah.
Wasn't the other effects. Damage boost is okay.
Bar of power lets you get in quick, though.
Oh, man. It is, but it's only the one time.
Yeah, but this is way better. As long as you're in not first position, you can basically instantly get it.
Yeah. And it's actually unaffected by the mother box. Mother box only takes away power that you've already got. You tag in, you've got a bar of power, and you totally drop it on them. So really, you could have a team that has 3 specials immediately.
Yeah.
Even without Batgirl.
Wow.
No, this is
3 specials immediately without Batgirl and more with her. Better ones, I guess.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah, you could have 3 special 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just seriously that. So clearly, the amount that we're doing is less than half.
Which makes sense.
Well, yes and no, because her passive is 20. Claw of Horse is another 10. Or her passive is 25, right?
Oh.
Claw of Horse is 10.
Yeah.
And the Master's Death card should be another 20. So I'm not sure exactly.
It depends
how
on
they're
the order of
calculating it.
operations.
Yeah.
It's probably one then the other then the other.
So it's interesting because it seems like a lot more when we were earlier. I wonder if it is tied into their health or into our damage. Because it seems like a lot less. We'll have to pay attention for the next fight. Alright, so this is where I'm doing a special 2 instead. There we go. Yeah, usually, I mean, I don't expect to get much further because the difficulty and the stats of the opponent ramps up so much faster, and when we lose special 1, we're going to be in trouble, but this late in the run, it's still surprising how easy it is.
Yeah.
And I think we'd probably be getting a little bit easier if we didn't have Astro Harness Hunter now that I'm thinking about it.
For sure.
Yeah, so this is for the people who are listening, I guess. This is the way we set up teams, because people ask us about how to set up teams all the time. And it's just, you have an idea, you have a gear that you like, want to exploit a particular aspect of it, use somebody who's maybe got a bit of synergy with it, play it, and then see how it looks, and then think, well, what could I do to make this even better? Man, see, look, full bar, and we're only using 3/4 of it, 2/3. There's something not right. I think maybe there is something broken in it, and I really hope they don't fix it.
Wow, that's a lot. I think there might be some issue with displaying the amount of power that you actually have or something. That only updates when it, I don't know, something's happening.
Yeah, I really want to get rid of Arcanite Backo. She's the one that's going to keep me from tagging in and out. Well, actually, no, she's not the one keeping me from tagging in and out. She's the one that I'm worried about when we knock somebody out, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it's Arcanite Harley Quinn that's the problem. Hot diggity. Oh, that was too easy.
Nice.
I think we're close to full health. Alright, so what's next? I think we're coming up on Special 1 disabled.
Which will probably be the end. Or pretty close to it.
Yeah. Well, which just goes to show you, right? Like, I mean, Survivor is clearly a different bird. I mean, this is a pretty spectacular piece of gear.
Yeah.
Not for the obvious reasons, but for that extra bar of power. I can't wait to see this one either. Like I said, in my mind, it's almost as good as Tantu Totem. The advantage Tantu Totem has is that you get it back after you knock them out, or if you whiff.
Mm.
I think, I'm pretty sure this is the one where Special 1 is disabled. Yeah. All right. So
Crap.
well, that was a nice run.
Yeah.
Let's make a fight of it though. This is where Astro Harness is useful to us.
Got a special 2. There we go.
Yeah, it won't be enough. You know what? That's probably not the greatest strategy. I probably should have tagged out, but the problem is Arcanite Catwoman is too vulnerable because it'll take her a while to build up power.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's not enough damage over time to justify that. It's almost a waste. Yeah, when you see that, I guess we can. Somebody who's watching maybe can do the calculations based on the numbers and how little their bar moves down with each hit, and do a rough calculation of how much health they've got. Yeah,
Crap.
no surprise there. Again, not a bad showing though for a team that's really geared for Special 1. Oh, I think she's too far. That sucked. Oh, we might actually knock somebody out. Yeah, remember that fight where we had 2 Injustice 2 Aquaman exchanging specials back and forth and multiplying their damage over time? Oh, well. That was sweet, though. So, verdict?
Very good.
Master's Death card is pretty spectacular.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Komoda.